Hey everybody, welcome back to the center lane, a political discussion for those of us in the middle who just want both sides of our political parties to get along and get something done. Not too far left, not too far right, right down the center. Just going to kind of peruse what I think of the State of the Union right now. First off with our President Trump. He has some, I think he has some very probably good ideas if you look at them from what they are, as far as cutting government spending and these types of things and bringing peace to the world. But the way he goes about it, I find a little bit confusing. For example, the tariffs. What exactly are we going to gain by going to a trade war against Canada and Mexico? Now they're back off again today, I guess, but they're on, they're off. Even if he's trying to use that as a leverage, maybe that works in real estate deals. But when people that want to invest in America, companies that want to make further investments that are in America aren't sure what's the price of goods and services are going to be. It causes confusion, and it's going to ultimately, I think, hurt us. So I know back in the 1890s they did tariffs and America got rich, but the problem was only about 6 families got all the money. The Rockefellers, the DuPonts, those families did quite well, but the average worker did not do so great back then, trust me. So that's something that time will tell us. I just don't see a clear objective on that one. So I'm a little confused about that. I would say the Hamas thing, I get Trump's frustration. I mean, me too. Why aren't these hostages back by now? Hamas is playing games. The other countries in that region do not want the Palestinians because it's going to bring, the Hamas group with them, of course, so they don't want that to be moved to their country. So they've come up with some answers or some suggestions or some plans, I guess, to rebuild there and allow the population to stay. But I mean, I got to agree with Trump on it's like Hamas can't be in charge of this anymore, their government, because it's just going to be wash, rinse, repeat. It already has been wash, rinse, repeat for the past 50 years in that whole region. But it's time for some change. So if he can get something positive out of all this, again, it doesn't seem real clear to the average person what the end game there is. But moving them out and building resorts and casinos there, that's not a plan. That's kind of that's kind of silly when you think about it. I mean, nobody's going to go vacation over there. There's no way. It's going to be too dangerous. So that seems to be a bit of an issue with his deal. Dodge and Elon Musk. I mean, that whole thing seems. Look, everybody wants to cut waste in government. We all want that. But just to haphazardly go there with a bunch of 19-year-old minions that are making all these cuts, they're little groupies of Elon Musk, don't really know the nuances of how the government works, even though they're smart, probably a lot smarter than me. But come on, you got to take a scalpel, not a sledgehammer. Do things carefully. You can take a page out of Bill Clinton. He's the last one to balance our budget. In the 90s, Clinton was a pretty darn good president. History is going to be, I know they talk about Monica Lewinsky and all that, but he was really a hard-working guy who had some, good people around him. And I'll give the Republicans, he worked really well with the other side. Gee whiz, how about that? A center lane philosophy that actually things got done. There's the last real example when we are truly more centric than we are today. And that leads me to kind of like my last point about the State of the Union was Trump's address to Congress the other night. Now, and he's guilty of this, but the other side is too. It seems to me, I don't know, I'm just trying to look at this from the outside, that both sides are hell-bent on convincing us, the voter or the citizen, that the other side is just horrible. Trump's calling them radical lunatics, and then everybody on the Democratic side saying that he's deranged. And by the time it's all said and done, where's that getting us? I think too many of these politicians on both sides are just trying to build their own brands, trying to get in front of that camera, say something ridiculous, It makes no sense to me. I know that guy got kicked out for heckling Trump, and which he should have, but I can remember when Biden was there, when Marjorie Taylor Greene and Laura Boebert spent the whole State of the Union heckling and acting like idiots, and nothing happened to them other than we got to see their true selves, which, some people like that. Most people don't. I think most people think that's ridiculous. Have some respect, for the other side. I mean, that's the first thing we need to do as Americans is have respect for one another and try to get along and try to listen to each other. So if that is possible, wouldn't that be great, huh? You know, I mean, wouldn't that be great? So, and last little point I want to make too, I'm sorry, but when J.D. Vance was, you know, and Trump were trying to embarrass the president of Ukraine, Zelensky, and saying, why don't you have a suit on? Why don't you have a suit? And I'm thinking, yeah, maybe he should wear a suit, but he's a wartime president. They usually dress in, when you're at a war, those countries particular, they wear the uniform. But Elon Musk is running around in a black t-shirt with a ball cap on and a 4-year-old mini-me on his shoulders all the time in the Oval Office. I mean, that's, you know, I mean, you're gonna call out Zelensky for his dress code. Let's talk about Elon Musk and the way he dresses. I mean, really? And then bringing a chainsaw, that's kind of dangerous. Secret Service, be advised, right? Anyways, just a quick thing. Like I say, in the words of the late, great Rodney King, can't we all just get along? Have a great day, everybody, and I'll talk to you again soon.